Alright everyone, how's it going? Hope you're all doing well. My name's Nagai, your Guilty Gear OG-san, and today we'll be taking a break from making Dizzy guides to talk about the new playable character Venom. As you know, when a new character drops, Twitter gets a little overwhelming with all these new tech videos. With so much new information, it can be difficult to discern what's helpful and what's not so helpful. To save you time, I want to highlight some of the more interesting clips and briefly give you my insight. Alright, so this video isn't going to be as heavily edited as my other ones, as I want to get this information out to you as soon as possible. Keep in mind that these are day one clips, and any opinions that I have are also day one impressions. Things are subject to change, so it's a good idea to exercise some healthy skepticism. Before we begin, don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe if you found this helpful. I'll make sure I'll credit each user's Twitter clip, so if you want to check out more of their work, feel free to do so. Alright, with that said, let's just safe jump right into it. Let's first talk about some Twitter clips that might not look so flashy, but are very much essential. Yes, we are actually safe jumping right into it with this clip from Magic GGST. It's not day one of a character's release if you don't see at least one safe jump Twitter clip. Yeah, I know this is simple, but this is something you'll surely see at all levels of play, so of course I want to highlight this. Next up, we have a clip from Anarcat showcasing a safe jump setup after a throw. This is a very solid find, as it shows that Venom's 5k can recover fast enough to block a 9-frame reversal, while also maintaining pressure if they didn't DP. One thing I like to add is that you actually need to press a normal button in the air. This adds just enough landing recovery so that 5k's active frames hit as late as possible. If you don't do that, the landing 5k done as soon as possible will sadly just whiff. Normally 5k is -2 on block, but doing it this way seems to make it about +5. Since we're talking about reversal safe pressure, I want to show a setup from user Reese Papa Janice, the classic projectile leading Okizeme setup that is also reversal safe. After dash cancelling off your 5k, you would need to delay the 2k after the ball hit to OS a block in case they DP. This is an elegant and effective setup, and I love that players are sharing clips like this. But I should mention one thing in regards to showcasing option selects, which is this. If we are sharing setups that cover multiple scenarios with a single input string, especially ones that require manual timing, it's actually best to use the record and playback function. Look, I understand that by changing the counterattack settings, you're presenting the defensive option like a book chapter or something, like this is what I'm gonna do. But you're not definitively proving that a single input string covers multiple options. With setups that require manual timing, you might actually be gaslighting yourself into thinking it's an OS. Anyways, I don't mean to throw this particular clip under the bus or anything. Most Twitter users do this, and hey, I understand doing it this way is much easier to share, but as a big giant nerd lab monster, I feel it's my duty and responsibility to at least mention this. Anyways, moving on. Alright, so this clip is from the Potemkin Goat FAB. This kinda looks familiar. Luckily, we don't need an emergency patch to fix this quote, infinite block shrink, end quote, as an FD block will push Venom away. In this next setup from user Goodnight Aegis, I do believe we are seeing the beginnings of the quintessential Strive Venom BNB setup. This is a high-low setup that doesn't require resources off a 2D hard knockdown. One thing I like to add is that if you go for the low, you can also bait out a DP. Since JD has a startup of 19 frames, at best you have a 19 frame overhead setup if you don't do it too early. Here's another high-low setup from user QDPatu99532, which complements the previous mix-up we just showed. Here we have a fuzzy overhead setup that can also safe jump if input correctly. In this case, if we want to safe jump a 9-frame reversal, we would have to hold back during most of the hit stop of JS, and then double jump forward near the end of the hit stop. If you jump cancel too quickly, you'll get smoked by the DP. I particularly like this fuzzy overhead because if the opponent crouch blocks the JS for whatever reason, you won't get totally punished for it, which is the case for a lot of other fuzzy overhead setups. In the next batch of clips, you're gonna see a bunch of various combos off of Venom's command grab. Here's my early impression. There's a ton of these clips, and everyone is doing their own personalized combos. In almost all these clips, Venom is not doing a whole lot of damage, but it seems you're guaranteed a wall break if the opponent doesn't burst. The take-home message I'm getting from all this is that you're not supposed to do big damage, but instead, the game gives you a blank canvas for you to paint your own personalized combo, or setup if you don't want a wall break. The floor is yours if you want to add your own identity into the gameplay, it seems, which is something a lot of players often feel is missing in this version of Guilty Gear. Do you know what else is missing in this version of Guilty Gear? Instant kills. I believe the first person to show this on Twitter is user Otawara113514. Okay, I don't think this was intended. When I saw this, I thought it was a joke, like as if someone made a funny video edit or something. But yeah, after trying it out in training mode, I can confirm that it's not fake. Alright, just to prove that it's not a video edit, I'm gonna play it live for you guys. Alright, here we go. This is a recording I did earlier, because it is tough to do. And there you go. I don't know what other proof. Maybe I'll just show you guys the camera. Maybe you don't need this. Ignore my mess here. See, look, check that out. Play it out. Excuse the mess. Yeah, look at that. It's a glitch, probably. It took me several tries, but after learning that you need to delay the Dark Angel a bit, I finally got it. Anyways, I don't think this will be around for long, but hey, it's not gonna stop some lab monsters from having a lot of fun. Alright everyone, that pretty much wraps up all I wanted to go over. The links to all the Twitter clips I've shown will be in a Google Doc in the description below. Please support and follow all the lab monsters who took the time to develop this tech. By the way, we went through and analyzed most of these clips on stream in a segment I call Day 1 Twitter Tech Roundup. So if you want to catch that live, please go ahead and follow my Twitch. Anyways, it's late, I gotta go to sleep. You guys take care. Alright, bye.